I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
And we're the Fuji Guys. This great video is going to be our first look at the HS30, the beautiful manually zooming 30 times hybrid camera that we've got, featuring our top-of-the-line EXR BSI CMOS sensor, which does great full HD video now and high-speed shooting. I just want to mention that while we're going through this model, we'll kind of be referring to an HS30, which is the camera we're showing you, and then also another model called the HS25. The HS25 has got, I would say, several features less than the HS30, but the body design and the sensor and things like that, and where the controls and the buttons are exactly the same. So if there are any differences along the line, we'll make sure to point them out. But for all intents and purposes, this is a video on the first look for the HS30 as well as the HS25. Okay, so Billy, take us around front, back, center, bottom, sides, and show us all the buttons and controls.
Okay, let's just take a quick look at the, the front of the camera. As you notice, of course, this is the HS30, so it does include the lens hood. The HS25 does not include a lens hood in the package, so that's one difference. But in terms of looking at the camera itself, you can see the lens is an f2.8 to 5.6 lens. Equivalent to a 35mm camera, it's, 24 all the way to 720.
30
so
times.
It's 30 times zoom, similar to the HS20. And the HS25, same thing as well. And it is a manual zoom, so it is a rubberized grip. And you can see it's slightly different this year. It's a little indented, and it just allows you your finger to slide perfectly.
Yeah, a little smoother zooming, and some of the benefits of the manual zoom is that it does not make a noise during the video when you're filming videos with this one. Also,
it helps
saves on battery consumption for the camera, and also gets you to your point of the focal length that you want much quicker. So we call it a precision type zoom as well as a manual zoom.
Because, of course, this camera is a hybrid, as Greg mentioned, so the lens is not interchangeable. It is fixed to the camera, but it does offer you this full range of zoom control, as well as, close-up macros all the way to 1 centimeter away. Taking a look at the front of the camera again, we have the 2 stereo mics. It does record full HD videos with stereo. You have the AF assist lamp as well in the front that shoots a light and helps the camera focus in low-light situations. I just want to point out the EXR badge that's on it. It is a new EXR sensor technology, again, that's improved over the HS20. You get about 30% increase in quality in low-light situations, so that's one of the biggest difference there. And that's sort of the front there. If we take a look at one of the sides of the camera on the HS30 as well as the 25, we have the pop-up flash button right there. You have the little strap area where you can attach, the shoulder strap. You got the speaker, that's built in, so you can play back your videos and hear the audio. There's a little tab here on the side that gives you access to some of the ports on the camera, like the video jack that you can plug to a TV to play standard video. You have the USB 2.0 connection here to download images and video, and you also have a mini HDMI port that allows you to play HD video and photos. On the opposite side of the camera, you got, of course, the little memory card slot. The camera doesn't include an SD card, so we highly recommend you pick up at least a Class 6 rated card or higher for full HD video as well as raw shooting capabilities. And it accepts SD, SDHC, as well as SDXC cards. Okay, thanks, Greg. You also have the other opposite side for the shoulder strap to attach to as well. Okay, take a look at the bottom of the HS30. Of course, you got the tripod socket. It is metal. You also have the battery door compartment. And here's a difference I'm going to talk about now is that the HS30 runs off lithium rechargeable batteries, as you can see right here. And that's included, and of course, it is rechargeable, and it comes with a charger and whatnot. The HS25 uses 4 AA batteries. It includes 4 alkaline one-time use batteries. So again, we highly recommend you pick up a good set of rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries. And a charger and 4 batteries can run you for about $20 nowadays. So,
yeah, they're very reasonably priced.
That's right. Okay, so that's the look at the bottom of the camera, and there's nothing really else to show you there. On the top of the camera, I just want to point out the shutter release button. It's also the on and off switch right there to turn it on and off. You got quick access buttons here to the continuous shooting modes. Allows you to change it to things like best frame capture or even bracketing modes. You got the plus or minus exposure button that allows you to change the exposure compensation by over or under compensating. And of course, holding that button down with the command dial can allow you to change things like shutter speeds and aperture as well. And again, that's the command dial right here. You also got the mode dial that indicates several shooting modes, including EXR, full manual control, as well as a panoramic stitching mode that does a 360 panoramic. You got a couple of scene modes and an advanced mode to do things like pro focus and pro low light modes. You also have a hot shoe. It's a dedicated hot shoe that allows us to use the available Fujifilm flashes like the EF20 and the EF42 flashes. They differ slightly in terms of strength and the ability to either tilt and swivel. So that's the difference. But the camera, as you mentioned, also has a built-in flash as well. Okay, so that's just, again, the top of the camera itself. Let's take a look now at the, back of the camera. So on the back, of course, you got the tilting LCD screen. It is a slightly better screen in terms of a better anti-reflective coating on the camera, on the lens, on this LCD, sorry. The controls are very similar to that of the HS20. Again, you got the ISO direct access button to change ISO on the camera, the auto exposure, the auto focus modes, and also even the focusing modes like continuous focusing, single focus, and even manual focus. Both the cameras now in video mode allow you to do manual focusing during video, so that's sort of where you would change that mode anyways.
Yep.
You got the white balance button, direct access to change various preset white balance option, as well as custom white balance and of course the Kelvin scale on top of that. And these buttons on playback also double up as a zoom in, zoom
Dual
out
function. Face
detection on and off button, and information, or even a zoom button as well, or search button, sorry, to look through the images on playback. If we take a look, there's actually an LED light. That light just tells you when the camera is kind of either writing to the memory card, or it's charging up the internal capacitor for the flash, so it's telling you when it's ready to use the flash. You got the diopter adjustment. You got the electronic viewfinder. Of course, the HS30 has a nicer, higher res electronic viewfinder than the HS25. Very similar looking, but the resolution is slightly higher on the HS30. You also have the eye sensor that when you stick your eyes to it, it automatically switches between the LCD screen and the electronic viewfinder. And the benefits of this style camera, of course, is having that electronic viewfinder, because in bright sunny days, it's so much easier to compose your photo.
Yeah, or if you're shooting with a long telephoto lens like that 30x zoom, it's
More
sure better to take a picture like this than it is with your hands extended, as far as,
That's correct.
even though there's great image stabilization in this camera, it's good to help it.
Okay, and right beside it, of course, you got the EVF LCD button. That's your button to toggle between the different views. So you can turn off the LCD, you can turn on or switch between the two, or set it up to be the eye sensor, so that when your eye comes up, it switches automatically. And that's where you push that button. You have a direct access to the HD video option. By pushing that button, you can record videos
video.
Right away, and pushing the button again can allow you to stop. And the great thing with having a dedicated video button is that during video, you can actually take a photo with the shutter button and still continue to record videos. You have the AE/AF lock, which allows you to lock exposure and or focus, and it can be customized. And you have the standard directional pad that goes up, down, left, right to navigate the different screens. And they double up as the ability to change the different flash modes, the self timer, the macro modes from macro to super macro, as well as a delete button when you're in the playback, and a function 2 button or a function button. And that can be configured for things like quick access to like the intelligent zoom or digital zoom on this function, and no other different options that you want to configure that in the menu. You have the display back button that toggles through the different display screens on the camera, from grid lines to having no information to giving you some histogram information on the camera. You got the playback button that allows you to look back at all the images as well. Quite a few amount of buttons actually on this camera to give you really quick access to a lot of your photographic control. And that's the great thing I like about this camera.
And a lot of them are dual functional, like that display button that you just talked about has different functions when you're playing back pictures as opposed to when you're taking pictures. So it does kind of condense it quite a bit.
It does. That's just a quick look at some of the button controls on the HS30 as well as the HS25.
Yeah, so the HS30 and the HS25, that's your first look. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the other videos on these and other cameras, and follow Billy on Twitter. Until the next video, I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
And we're the Fuji Guys.